Welcome to video 21 in our series on AI-powered research. Today we're tackling one of the most dangerous pitfalls in AI-assisted research, hallucinated citations. This is when AI generates references that look completely real but don't actually exist. Here's why this matters so much. Imagine you're writing a literature review. You ask Claude or ChatGPT to suggest relevant papers. It gives you a beautifully formatted citation with author names, journal, year, volume, and page numbers. You include it in your manuscript. Months later, a reviewer or editor tries to verify it and discovers the paper doesn't exist. This isn't a rare occurrence. Studies have shown that AI models hallucinate citations in anywhere from 5 to 30% of cases, depending on the topic and how the question is phrased. The more obscure your research area, the higher the risk. The consequences can be severe: manuscript rejection, damaged reputation, or even retraction if the paper was already published. But here's the good news. With the right verification protocol, you can catch every single fake citation before it causes problems. By the end of this video, you'll have a bulletproof system for verifying any citation AI generates. Let's understand why AI creates fake citations in the first place. Large language models don't actually search databases. They predict what text should come next based on patterns in their training data. When you ask for a citation, the AI is essentially asking itself, what would a plausible citation look like for this topic? The result is often a Franken citation the author might have written on related topics. The journal definitely exists. The year is reasonable, but this specific combination of elements was never published. What makes this particularly dangerous is how convincing these hallucinations are. The AI doesn't give you obviously fake information like a made-up journal name. Instead, it gives you real author names who work in your field, real journals that publish on your topic, and realistic formatting. Some researchers have reported receiving citations where every element is real except one. The author exists, the journal exists, the volume exists, but that particular paper was never in that volume. These partial hallucinations are the hardest to catch because a quick Google search might even return results that seem to confirm the citation. This is why you need a systematic verification protocol, not just a quick check. Here's the solution: a 3-step verification protocol that catches every type of hallucinated citation. Step 1 is the search check. Take the exact paper title and search for it in Google Scholar, your field's primary database like PubMed or Scicinfo, and the journal's website directly. If you can't find the exact title anywhere, that's a major red flag. Real papers leave digital footprints across multiple platforms. Step 2 is digital object identifier verification. Every legitimate paper published in the last 20 years should have a DOI, which stands for Digital Object Identifier. If the AI gave you a DOI, go to DOI.org and enter it. Does it resolve to the correct paper? If there's no DOI, that's suspicious for any recent publication. Ask the AI to provide one and verify it. Step 3 is content validation. If a paper passes the first 2 checks, do one final verification. Read the abstract. Does the paper actually say what you're citing it for? Sometimes AI will give you a real paper that has nothing to do with the claim you're making. This is a subtle form of hallucination where the citation exists but doesn't support your point. Only when a citation passes all 3 steps should you include it in your work. Let's walk through the verification checklist you should use for every AI-generated citation. First, copy the exact title and search in Google Scholar. Look for an exact match, not similar titles. If the search returns nothing or only returns AI-generated summaries that cite the same suspicious source, the citation is likely fake. Second, search in your field-specific database. For biomedical research, that's PubMed. For psychology, it's Scicinfo. For education, it's the ERIC database. These databases have rigorous indexing, and legitimate papers will appear there. Third, check the journal's website directly. Navigate to the specific volume and issue the AI cited. Is that paper actually there? This catches cases where the AI got the journal right but invented the specific article. Fourth, verify the DOI. Go to DOI.org and paste the identifier. A valid DOI will redirect you to the publisher's page for that exact paper. Fifth, confirm author attribution. Does this author actually research this topic? A quick check of their Google Scholar profile or institutional page will reveal their actual publication record. Sixth, read the abstract. Does the paper actually support the claim you're making? This final check prevents misattribution, which is another form of AI error. Print this checklist and use it every single time. Let me show you the red flags that indicate a likely hallucination. First red flag, the paper doesn't appear in Google Scholar at all. Nearly every academic paper published since 2000 has some Google Scholar presence. If there's nothing, be very suspicious. Second red flag, the DOI doesn't resolve. This is almost definitive proof of hallucination. Real DOIs always work. If DOI, org says DOI not found, the citation is fake. Third red flag, the author's publication list doesn't include this paper. Check their Google Scholar profile, their ResearchGate, or their institutional webpage. If this supposedly important paper isn't listed anywhere, it doesn't exist. Fourth red flag, the journal volume and issue don't match the date. AI sometimes puts papers in volumes that hadn't been published yet, or issues that don't align with the year cited. Fifth red flag, extremely specific, but unverifiable details. If the AI gives you exact page numbers but you can't find the paper to verify them, that precision is false confidence. Remember, legitimate papers leave multiple traces across the internet. If you can only find evidence of a paper's existence in AI-generated content, you're looking at a hallucination that has spread. Here's the impact of implementing this verification protocol. When you systematically verify every AI-generated citation, you will never include a hallucinated reference in your work. That's a guarantee. The three-step protocol catches every type of fake citation, whether it's completely invented, partially real, or a misattribution. This protects your reputation. Submitting a manuscript with fake citations signals to reviewers that you didn't do due diligence. Even if the rest of your work is excellent, fake citations undermine your credibility. This saves you time in the long run. Yes, verification takes a few extra minutes per citation, but compare that to the days or weeks lost when a reviewer flags a suspicious reference and you have to scramble to fix your manuscript. Or worse, dealing with a retraction request because a published paper contains fake sources. This makes you a better researcher. The verification process often leads to discovering the real papers you should have been citing. Sometimes the AIS hallucination is based on real work that you can track down and cite properly. Most importantly, this maintains the integrity of the scientific literature. Every fake citation that gets published becomes training data for future AI models, perpetuating the problem. Let's summarize the key takeaways from this video. First, AI hallucinations are common and dangerous. Language models don't search databases, they predict plausible text. This means citations can look completely real while being entirely fabricated. Studies show hallucination rates of 5 to 30% depending on the topic. Second, use the three-step verification protocol. Search check to confirm the paper exists. DOI verification to validate the identifier. Content validation to ensure the paper actually supports your claim. Only citations that pass all three steps should be included in your work. Third, learn the red flags. Papers missing from Google Scholar, DOIs that don't resolve. Authors whose publication lists don't include the cited work. Volume and issue numbers that don't match the publication date. Fourth, every citation deserves verification, even when you're in a hurry, even when the citation looks perfect, even when you trust the AI model. The few minutes you spend verifying are nothing compared to the consequences of including a fake reference. Make verification a non-negotiable part of your research workflow. This video is part of a series based on the book Impact or Invisible: Surviving the Data Age with AI by Angel Reyes, available on Amazon. Here's your takeaway to remember. AI doesn't search for citations. It predicts what citations should look like. That's a fundamental difference that every researcher must understand. Never trust an AI-generated citation without verification. Never. It doesn't matter how confident the AI sounds or how detailed the citation appears. Confidence and detail are easy to generate. Truth requires verification. Your verification checklist is simple. Search check, DOI check, content check. 3 steps that take 5 minutes and save your reputation. In the next video, we'll explore how to write an AI disclosure statement that satisfies journal requirements while accurately representing your AI use. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.